woman, pair of taxes, non-hater, non-lover.
Cheers.
Just a chill guy, a humble fellow. I am a humble guy. I'm a humble guy. I'm a humble fellow.
For now.
No. Non-humble man. I'm a humble man. Ask my friends. I'm very humble.
It's interesting you put it like that because I know, I was just checking the story of this whole new demographic of single brothers, and the number is rising. Now they're getting to their 30s. They're almost getting to their 30s. Guys are very intentional about solo mission.
Now, I'd like to say that I am 31. But when I was 30, I was seeing someone.
Good stuff.
As with life, as with taxes, sometimes you file returns. And the government is like, hey, you owe us. So for me, I had to, I was seeing someone, but I'm not anymore.
Right.
I will not go into that because read my book coming out in like 10 years.
Dude, it's good to have you here, Tim.
Yeah,
for real,
happy to be here. Happy to be here.
How was your week?
A bit actually interesting because I do, as I was telling you, I do a lot of things and I do a lot of different things and different spaces. So I have been learning how to sound engineer. So I have just graduated. So I've been chasing that. The show I produced, Nakili Sessions, had a gig on Wednesday.
Nice.
So that ate my brain and my time and my energy. Had a chill Thursday because I'm trying to be chill at least once a week.
Right.
Working as a creative and working in creative spaces just eats into your energy and your psyche. I was at to those who know, Alliance usually sometimes has orchestral things. So there was a lady who was playing the grand piano. It was beautiful. It was wonderful. Chilled, went home, slept.
Yeah, that's amazing, bro. Let me ask you, Kwanzaa, that story for the way you said creatives, sometimes it takes a toll on you to create stuff, produce stuff, getting out there and just engaging with with life. So let me ask you, so what do you do to stay chill, to stay sane?
I drink a lot of tea. I drink so much tea. Some of my friends find it uncomfortable, but I'm a heavy tea drinker. So about 2nd November 2017 is when I stopped drinking alcohol. So I've been relatively clean in that direction. So I drink tea. Culturally, I'm Maragoli when it comes to my tea. I will drink it anytime, any place. If you give me tea, I'm happy.
Nice. Good stuff.
So I drink a lot of tea. I write. I dance at events, guys. And I'm very ashamed about it. I will dance alone on the dance floor. I'll be like, guys,
for real,
the DJ is playing, music is playing, I will dance.
Yeah, I saw you on a random footage. I think it's on your IG. I'm like, this guy has mad energy. I love it, man. So have you always been like a performer since way back?
Yeah, but it's the same way everybody was like when you're in primary school and you're in high school. If there's something happening, music related, entertain the parents. So sing, drama. So I've been different schools I went to, engaged in singing and engaged in being part of plays, coming up with script for plays or coming up with characters for plays. So I was that guy who'd be like, oh yeah, we're doing this. I'm like, I'm in. So even that transition when was it? 2020. Actually, pre-COVID, I had been out of the country. So I'd come back to Kenya and I was like, a friend of mine was like, AC, big up to her, whatever she is. AC was like, oh yeah, I go to this poetry thing. So I was like, oh yeah, let me tap into that. So started going into poetry spaces, then transitioned into COVID happened. As we all know, it stopped the country for a bit. So started writing again, like seriously sitting down, writing pieces, because I'm a poet. I'm a poet and a storyteller, but I'm primarily, when I'm writing, I write pieces. So I write my poetry, started going into art spaces now post-COVID because it's like, wait, dunia inaisha. So I might as well actually.
What a joke,
go to these spaces.
Only
go to these
spaces. For real.
Yo. Kama ulipata homa ya Nairobi, because that's what we used to call it in the office. If you ever got homa ya Nairobi, that was COVID, guys. You ever got COVID.
But you see, people used to think it was necessary. Whatever we went through during COVID, especially mentally, was necessary. They almost referred to it as a reset. Like, there was too much, we were all over the place, so it kind of narrowed everything down. People say staying indoors, of course, and then now you had to go back to reset, default mode. Is that true?
True. So that's what I'm saying. Even for me, I started writing again.
Good stuff.
But now the problem is, post-COVID, that spaces had died.
Yeah.
So that was biggest ish. Because I remember there used to be a poetry thing. Every Sunday at the museum, every first Sunday at the museum, poets would just come, we perform, there's a headliner, finger snaps. So it was like, for me, if I remember even specifically, a friend of mine called Mosoti, aka Norman, was the one who was like, hey, Timo, go back to writing. So I picked up the pen, started writing again. But it was like, there were no that spaces for me to express myself. So it was also looking for those spaces and looking for people and places where I can perform.
So you're pretty much extroverted?
No, actually. I love being at home and alone. It's just that for that brief period where I'm outside, I will be loud, I will be energetic, and then I will go home, turn off the lights, and stay there for a bit, and just because I'm an ambivert.
Right.
I can draw to both sides. I can actually be quiet, guys.
Yeah, I actually came across that word, that term, I think about a month ago. I was like, wow, okay. So it's
there's a term.
Yeah. So let me ask you something, because, I figured we need to talk about this whole thing for staying awake, being awakened, especially in this new Kenya, right? Because they're saying we're obviously transitioning to like a new space mentally, right? And the cost that comes with that. You're a deep creative, bro, and I was so excited about having this conversation with you. So when it comes to the cost of being awake, for you getting out there and you saying, you know what, I'm not really going to look at this thing the way the masses are, right, in terms of narratives and conversation. What's the cost of it all? What are some of the things that you've had to sacrifice?
I don't work with everybody.
Right.
I was telling someone, sometimes it's really good to look at the space you're in and look at the people you're interacting with. Look at how the messaging, be it verbal and nonverbal, because it's very interesting how sometimes people be speaking, but the actions are very different in the way people operate. And a mentor of mine was really important about the ability to step back and actually look at a situation. It's learning not to speak first. Or, as I tell people sometimes, look, if I don't like you, I'll tell you I don't like you. If I can't work with you, I'll tell you I can't work with you. If I'm not comfortable with how you are operating and how you're set up, I will be very much like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
So it's willing to sometimes, but I tell people, I have the advantage of my parents still have not kicked me out of their house.
Awesome.
So I operate from their house. So I do not have the pressure of I'm looking for money.
Yeah.
Because to those who don't know my politics, I am a socialist, but who operates in a capitalistic country and a capitalistic system. I pay my taxes because I have to.
Yeah.
And because you need to. But I believe in the power of everybody getting what's due to them, but also operating in a right way and in a right manner.
And with that frame of mind, have you had to now do away with certain relationships? For example, your friends, biashara, maybe you're like, I'm not feeling your energy, I don't like your approach to this thing, so I'll pass, even when somebody wants to work with you.
So the thing is, the good thing about my work, because I work as an MC and a host, it's very easy for me to say, I have another event. That legit, even if I'm going to be at home. Even if I know I'm going to be at home. I'm going to be at home. I legit have nothing I'm doing. I can actually say, legit, I have another event.
Right.
I have another client. It's the ability of going, hey guys, look, or asking. It's also having conversations with like-minded people. I have a friend of mine. We're pretty much named the same. We're both Timors, both poets. So we're both in very similar circles. Sometimes we even sit with each other and go like, hey, like, how are you seeing this? Or some other friends, I'll be like, how are you seeing this? And like I said, I'm a believer. I go to church, I pray, I fast when I can, when my body allows me to fast, because sometimes. So it's also good to have people who are led by faith in a way, because even when I used to work for an office, funny enough, I actually was like gainfully employed, like
a proper corporate.
Okay, not really. I was working from home, but I worked for an IT company, and it was a very. It was for 1 year, but the way the company used to operate was so like first, even the ethos of the company was about integrity. So I operate, and it clicked with me. I operate with integrity. I cannot take my brother's bread, because that's my brother's bread.
Nice.
So it's also the situation of if you've worked with someone I know and they did not have a good relationship with you, I know automatically I will not have a good relationship with you.
Yeah.
Because if there are people in your life who, if they're really pushed, you're like, you pushed that one to the point of where they're like, I can't work with you. I can't work with you. Because I'm very, like I said, I'm not geared towards money, being a socialist and everything. My thing is, I just need enough to operate. I need enough to live my day to day and see how life goes. I'd like to state that if I have a person, I do look for more money, because feeding 2 people is a lot of work and going on dates is expensive. But when I am just operating as Tim, as this house, as Hamster, as a house of Hamster, I am like, if you are not being good to people I know, I can't really be good with you. But at the same time, I'll give you an opportunity. I'll listen to you. I'll have a conversation.
Give them the benefit of the doubt.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But if you burn with me, I'm like, my guy, I can't really work with you, because one, this is the reasons why. This is what other people have told me, and this is what you have given me. This is the energy you've hit me with.
It's it's amazing when you look at society like that, because naturally you're always going to encounter or engage with people from different backgrounds. People have a very interesting approach to life. Some can have like a toxic vibe to you. There's all kinds of people, especially in a city like Nairobi, right? Very cosmopolitan. Now, are there certain aspects of this Kenyan life that you were exposed to, and you're like, damn, I wish I never engaged with that, I never saw that, and you're struggling to unsee because now it's kind of affected your perception of the Kenyan life?
I think I grew up in Nairobi, so there are things I've experienced from like childhood. First time I ever saw a pickpocket, I was a baby. Basically, I was tiny. My mom is the one who got robbed. So Wheezy, nimezoea. Even my phones have gone. And I tell people, I'm a local man in some areas, and even I get robbed. But it's I'm going to quote Denzel. Denzel has this thing of where you've got to live before the devil enters.
Wow.
So I do not know how, but I will always leave right before it gets chaotic. I will be at home and I'm being told things happened where you are.
Oh, interesting.
So I've always had the thing of, I always leave. I'm always there late enough for everybody to have seen me, but I leave early enough for you people to have noticed that I left before the crisis,
before the bad thing,
whatever bad thing happened. I wasn't there.
Jeez. Is this like a pattern you've actually noticed?
Yeah, because I sometimes there are places I don't go to. Not because I'm uncomfortable with, because like I said, I'm sober. I'm not uncomfortable with people drinking, because I work in places where people drink. I'm just like, the spaces where I know they're not really conducive to me. So there's no need for me to take myself there. Because like I said, I can stay at home. Guys, home is actually an okay place to be. There's Wi-Fi, there's food. Sometimes I have to cook it, but there's food.
So, your art, spoken word, being a host, the host with the most, a writer.
It used to be the host with the most, the roast. But I stopped roasting people. I was like, I have to be kind.
It's true. I have to be kind. So, the type of work that you do can be very political sometimes.
It is.
And very edgy. At the same time, it can be very personal. Like, folks like you can be very vulnerable. Paka, ask guys in the audience, we start crying. You know what I mean? So
trigger warning and everything.
I know. So in the midst of all these emotions that you go through while you're curating your work, I know it can be very daunting. How do you stay grounded, especially due to all the distractions around, right? So if you know what I mean.
Let me tell you an interesting tidbit. I never write a piece immediately. If I feel something and my brain wants me to write, I do not write. I will actually sit with it. I will sit with that thought. I will actually process the emotion first. Because there were times where I'd write things pop. But I always felt like there are things there that are unprocessed. So I can't read this. I have an entire about over 30 pieces of poetry that nobody's ever seen. Okay, technically speaking, one of my exes has seen some of those pieces, but a lot of people have not. They've not been done on stage because, one, they have a lot of raw emotion. They have unprocessed things that I have already processed, and there's a perspective of, I tell people, me saying a piece from a point of I have processed this emotion, I have healed, and me writing and saying a piece from I am still very hurt, I'm still very vulnerable, I am still feeling that anger and that pain are very different. It's really good for if I'm performing on stage because people can feel the emotion, but at the same time, I will leave there needing to actually talk to someone. And it's very hard. For example, I like one of my pieces I performed was about my brother. I had a younger brother who died. If I had performed that piece when my brother had died, I didn't even write it at that time. If I had written it and had it out at that time, I don't think I'd ever been able to look at it. But now that I have gotten to the point of where I know he's dead, but at the same time I appreciate his life. Even if it was brief, he was still alive. So it's finding balance. And then someone said this to me, and I've always carried it. Poetry is not your therapy. Poetry is not your therapy. Because the bad thing about journaling and all that, sometimes, not saying all the times, and I'm not saying for everybody, for me in particular, is I will not process that emotion. Because in my head, I'll be like, I have written it, I can ignore it. I need to actually sit down with the emotion, sit down with whatever I'm processing, whatever I'm feeling, to go to the point of where I'm like, okay, now I am okay. Now I can actually express it if need be.
Let me ask you, I always refer to this book every time I have conversations with, deep thinkers like you. Elizabeth Gilbert and Creative Magic. She's talking about how some creatives usually they're weirdly attached to the pain and some of the crazy things that they've been through in their lives, like most people have anyway. And the reason they're so attached to that type of emotion is because apparently it helps them curate even better, right? Like somehow it just makes you more intentional. The grief kind of helps you put your heart on your sleeve. Is that true that when some even need alcohol and drugs to curate better? Is that true or it's a fallacy?
I will not name names, but it's actually kind of true, because you find like I said, people process things differently, people go about things differently. I'm going to hit you with a line from a TV show I watched growing up that really should not have been. But there's a show called Black Dynamite. It's an animated show, and it was touching on Richard Pryor. So they're doing a joke about Richard Pryor's process, and the line was cocaine. What a hell of a drug!
Right.
Richard Pryor, by the time he was dying, he was more cocaine than man.
Wow.
Man was really funny. Like, if you actually go look at old Richard Pryor material, you will laugh your head off. But he was coked out. He died early. He died when he was not supposed to die. He was an old man, but he wasn't old. I find it one, because I'm taking life raw. I'm experiencing all of these things I don't have handicaps. I don't take any kind of stimulant. I come out of it a bit better for me, in the sense of that, yes, you'll feel the emotion, but you'll also feel the balance. Right. The interesting thing I've actually ever experienced for myself was heartbreak. Heartbreak is really interesting, because heartbreak, as a writer, it was pushing me. I got dumped in December. I did not write a single piece until April, because I was like, any piece I'll write during this period and this time will be bad. Not in the sense of, anger and all that. In the sense of, I will write things that are not true.
Was the first piece that you wrote after the breakup, was it about the actual relationship? Or it was just something else?
Let me tell you a piece of funny bit. It's called Baby Mama Drama. First of all, I have no child.
Yeah.
that everybody knows of, even me. There was a time I had money.
Yeah.
Those were the times people would have looked for me. I was like, if I have your child, those were the times you could do. I have not fathered any child that I and my whole family know of. Nobody has come.
What
to
does it sound like? You're not so sure, bro.
No, because Nairobians. People with beards and dreads have a bad reputation.
I know, dude.
People with beards and dreads have a bad reputation. I'd like to state that I do not have any kids.
Yeah.
That anybody knows of, including me.
Why does it feel like you're addressing somebody?
I'm addressing the nation. I am addressing the nation when I'm saying this. So, I wrote a piece called Baby Mama Drama.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Because I was like, I've seen what other people have felt. Because I'm not really feeling it, but I've seen what other people are feeling.
Sure.
So my outlet was writing a piece that is so out of pocket and not me.
Right.
To the point of where I'm like, now I can go back to writing. Because I'm like, I wrote this piece. It's a funny piece.
Yeah.
There's some cuss words in it, so I don't really perform it as much because I'm also trying to lessen the amount of times I curse. But it's like it's one of those pieces where it was like, my baby mama is a witch. Flip the B into whatever.
Right.
And you get it. And it's like it was just a release. It was me now finding my hand again. But it took me a couple of months because I was like, I'm a vocarious, used to be a vocarious writer. Working full-time in events is a lot of work. So I end up not writing as much as I used to. But like, I'm a vocarious writer. I always have my writing books.
Yeah. So that leads me to my next question. And, whenever people curate art, I assume that you always think of the audience first. At the same time, I've been in certain spaces where, great artists say that you should never have regard for the audience first, because they'll influence you to do what's not really what was not really your intention. You're not going to be authentic because you're almost writing stuff from a performative perspective as opposed to, what's really coming from the heart and the soul. Do you agree?
Kind of. The customer is always right in matters of taste.
And art as well.
So art, first of all, I am performing to other people. Like, see, I've told you, there are pieces I can't do. Because I know, one, people will not gravitate to them. They're still mine. They're still wonderfully written. They're actually really good. But it's like, it's not something an audience can gravitate to. It's something I was just writing for me.
But I thought that's what really fascinates the audience when they come and watch your stuff and they're like, oh my God, we didn't expect that.
Yeah, but the thing is, one of my taglines is, I'm always lying. So I like giving people pieces where they'll actually question whether I was telling the truth or not.
Right.
I'd also like to state that I do not lie to people. I'm just that it's like Baby Mama Drama. It's just a piece. I have no kid. I'm defending myself too much. I will stop. But it's the pieces of where you find it's also time and place.
Correct.
I have a piece I wrote. That book is somewhere in the house. But I have a piece I wrote about GBV. Gender-based violence piece is not a piece I can just drop on people's head.
I agree.
I have pieces I've written about just being happy. I have a piece I wrote about the sun. Sunset, to be in particular. I was just writing about sunset. I was sitting on a couch, the sun hit my face and it was setting. And I was like, let me write about sunset. There are places where that can go, there are places where that can't go. Like I said, the customer is always right when it comes to matters of taste. You have to know what the audience is gravitating to. It's also why you find a lot of the times people who curate for poetry events, they give you a theme/topic. This is what we want from you as a poet.
Right.
Now, the thing that comes in a lot of the times is someone will just come in and perform a piece. I am also very intentional about what piece I'm giving people. For example, if I was to speak on freedom, I would write a piece about freedom. I will not write a piece about how I'm in love with a woman.
Right.
Unless I'm twisting that piece into still about freedom, but it's talking about a woman. If it's a piece about culture, I'll give people a piece about culture in my own perspective. Culture being Nai culture, Matatu culture, the wonders of Sheng, which is my second language, first being Kikuyu, Yes, I speak Kikuyu, guys, horribly, but I still speak it. But Sheng is a language that I communicate as much. But when I find myself in situations where English is a language of ease, I speak in English because it's. Today I texted someone Dema inakuliwa, and they were like, "What is Dema?" That's when I realized one, the Sheng I speak is very old. Two,
I know Dema is so old school, bro.
Dema is so old school. I was like, Dema is food, guys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. So it's also understanding how your audience is. If I was doing poetry to a millennial audience, I can speak,
of course,
Sheng comfortably because to them, I'm speaking their language.
Yeah, you can say Dema.
In a younger audience, Sikuzombor makes sense to them.
Yeah.
To my fellow millennials, Sikuzombor is Greek.
Correct.
So it's always finding a balance between, am I writing? Because you also have to realize that people who write for themselves. The people who actually write just primarily 100%. Their pieces will never see the light of day. They've just written them for themselves. There are people who write for other people to read, but not to perform. And then there are people who write to perform.
So I want you to hold it right there. But I want to say something based on what you said. Yeah, for me, I guess I'm fascinated when I consume art that is so unexpected. Like I want the artist to really just take me to places I never expected. Yeah. So I mean, yeah. But I get what you're saying. You need to read the room. Yeah. So guys, when we come back, the conversation is still ongoing. Tim the Hamster. He's a creative, host with the most, writer, poet. He's everything. And tonight we're talking the cost of being awake, finding truth in a world numbed by noise. We're coming back in just a bit. This is John Legend and the Roots featuring Common with Wake Up Everybody.